platter of some sort.
Ooh, a platter! I'm excited to see that. Is it for me?
Yeah, of course.
Stevie Lynn here, your favorite Woodland granny. What is a Woodland granny, you ask? It's like a coastal granny. You know the coastal granny aesthetic? It's just easy breezy, drinks Chardonnay by the water, always in like white linen, tan. Well, I'm a Woodland granny. We're a little different. We tend to frolic. I frolic a lot in the woods. Woodland Granny is like witchcore for the over 50 crowd. Did you know that there were aesthetics for over 50? Yep, this is it. This is Woodland Granny Chic. Because I like to frolic in the woods, howl at the moon, forest bathe. I guess it's the same as frolicking in the woods. And I like to drink beer. So today is going to be a good show. It's going to be a really good show. You know why? Because I am duping a vintage TV dinner. Of course, I'm making it more modern, and I'm making it fit all our food preferences. Because we're pescatarian, and both me and Mr. Weisend are trying to not eat all the butter in the world. I'm heavily inspired by style channels. I love style channels. Can you believe it? Like I never follow the rules, but I do enjoy them. Sure. And what I really love is when they dupe something. They have a picture, especially when it's a vintage picture, and they dupe the vintage picture and they make it more modern. Well, that's what I'm doing today. I just want to dupe this TV dinner. Yeah, so we're making the brownie, and we're making the ambrosia. And we're making the something with dumplings. Well, let's start with the brownie. So I used a recipe that I found online. I will put that in the description box below, but I made some changes. Like I used browned butter, and I actually have a short that I can link to that teaches you how to brown butter the proper way. And I also used caramelized sugar, and that is, I actually caramelized the sugar myself. It makes it less sweet, but it actually acts like sugar, so you can replace sugar, but it's less sweet. And I also, because I love Ben & Jerry's Totally Nuts ice cream, but they discontinued it. It's just ice cream with like all the different kinds of nuts. I decided to put all the different kinds of nuts in this brownie as well. But the original recipe is just chocolate and walnuts. I couldn't think of a way to make that better except for putting all the nuts in it. And I sugared the pan. That's how I prepped it, with the sugar and oil. And I'm just gonna bake it. Now for the Ambrosia Salad. My husband was absolutely not excited about this. So I toasted unsweetened coconut flakes, and I used a coconut Cool Whip and yogurt, and I threw in some vegan marshmallows, and then I put in crushed pineapple, cherries, strawberry, and I didn't put in mandarin orange because it just takes over the flavor, some nuts, nutmeg, and a little honey, and that's it. So for the main course, the Something and Dumplings, I decided to make shrimp and dumplings. So I first started by creating a shrimp broth with garlic and shrimp shells. I put some saffron in it, and I just toasted up those shells with some olive oil, added some water, and then I just let it simmer for a while. You could see that saffron color coming through. Put some herbs in it too, a little preserved lemon. It smelled so good. And then I prepared some asparagus by blanching it and then slicing it thin. Now I'm fishing out all the shrimp shells and putting in some chives, some peas because that was in the TV dinner tray, shrimp, and now I'm making the dumplings. And dumplings are really easy to make. Don't be scared of them. So yeah, they're just ricotta and Parmesan and flour and salt and seasoning, and yeah, and they're so good. Those are chives. And a little lemon zest. So you just dump them in boiling water for about 5 minutes till they float to the top, and then I pan fried them. You can see them in the back. I add a little bit of lemon to the skillet and some more butter. Actually, this is the first time I put butter in it. See how I'm pan frying those dumplings to make them extra special. And then I just put them in the pan. I wish I made more broth, but it's still good. Because we have a little bit of leftovers, but there's not a lot of broth to go with them. And I just laid out the asparagus, kind of tossed it in with them, and then I'm going to put some arugula on it. Top it with a little bit more Parmesan cheese. And I think I squeezed a little bit more lemon on top of it just to kind of dress that arugula. So good. This was so good. And then I plated it. We weren't watching TV, but it's still, you know, the TV dinner inspired me. What do you think? Let's talk about the shit that we had last night. So the first course was this Ambrosia in the TV dinner. It's a Morton's TV dinner with chicken and dumplings. This is the first course, and it's actually like its own little section of the TV dinner that you take out before you put the TV dinner in the oven. Of course, I made it my way. That's the whole thing tasted like Lucky Charms. But now that the vegan marshmallows have softened overnight, it actually tastes better. I actually think it's pretty delightful. My husband, on the other hand, said,
What the fuck? Why? Why?
Why? He does not like ambrosia. Let's talk about the brownie. So this is the brownie. I got it from a recipe online, but I, of course, messed with it a little bit. The recipe called for melted butter, so I made browned butter, and I also had caramelized sugar that I had made previously, so I replaced the sugar with caramelized sugar, which is literally, you know, you caramelize sugar in the oven for several hours, but it changes its molecular structure, but you can still use it just like sugar. It's a little less sweet. And then I couldn't decide on which, that's a loud bird. I couldn't decide on which nuts I wanted to use, so I used all the nuts, and then I used even more nuts. So I used walnuts, pistachios, pecans, almonds. I used them all. The recipe said that I was like chewy, kind of somewhere between chewy and cakey, that kind of brownie. I really like a chewy brownie. This really is a cakey brownie. So I didn't have whipped cream, so I put yogurt on it. But yogurt's not working. I really like the flavor of this brownie, but it was cakey, and I thought it was kind of dry. And I'm not a baker. I follow recipes, and I might change flavor components, but not structural components, if that makes sense. But this was kind of dry, so last night I took a fork and I poked it, and then I poured a bunch of rum in it. But don't put yogurt on it. That sucks. No, I'll put a link to the recipe below if you're into more cakey brownies. So I did shrimp because we're pescatarian. I mean, I did make Moroccan chicken the other night, but mostly we are pescatarian. Okay, like the main course was awesome, and that's what I'm good at. The ambrosia, well, it got a okay from me and a hell no my husband, and he liked this a lot. I'm not a big fan of chocolate cake unless it's like super moist, so I'm not a big fan of this. I like a chewy brownie. If anybody knows of a really good chewy brownie recipe, please leave a comment and let me know. Well, our time is up. I had a lot of fun doing this. I have a lot of fun making these videos. I hope you enjoy them too. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button. It really encourages me. It also encourages the algorithm. And I will see you in a couple days.